Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is the Second Act Show. I'm John Tarnoff,
And I'm Kerry Hannon.
and today we are the Nick and Nora Charles of Second Act Careers, investigating with many martinis all that has to do with solace and career resilience. We're looking forward to speaking with our guest today, Mark Anthony Dyson. And Kerry, unless you've got an update of some kind to share, let's just go into bringing back on the show.
Yeah, let's start the dance.
One of the things I hear a lot is that employers don't seem to value my experience. I've got all this experience offered, and they just glaze over. And they're not interested when I start talking about it. So people seem to be confused about talking about getting specific. How do you decide from all of the stuff that you've done, can do, how to focus without feeling like you're leaving money on the table and underselling yourself by just focusing on one area?
The question ultimately is, what does the employee need? What do they need? It could be something that they don't know that they need that you offer. How you present that to them is going to matter a whole lot. You can't be condescending, so you're missing this, so you're missing me kind of attitude and personality disorder. You've got to present it and say, hey, you thought about doing this because this would work in this kind of way. So you would have to give a taste of what you can do, because it is more about show than it is about tell. So you've got to have this consultant mindset that I've talked about for a number of years now, to where you've studied, you've been specific about what that company or what that industry needs, and you're able to meet it, and you have a plan sorted out in such a way to meet that. So you're going to have to talk to each employer, not broadly, but talk to each employer and be discerning, and also doing your homework and finding out what they need and getting that feedback and being able to internalize it in such a way that you could bring back the right amount of feedback. It may not be exact, but you can come to the neighborhood and be welcome to the cookout if you were just bringing the right dish to the party. So I think that's where people just need to be more thoughtful in that respect. I think one of the things that we think as an older worker, we think that it's easy. They should see all of my experience, but they don't know how that experience translates to today's market and today's skills and what they value.
Just a quick follow-up on that, because
Yeah.
as you're talking, this idea of externship, internships, whatever, talking about showing, not telling, showing. How do you feel about this idea that you should explore the possibility of doing something like an internship or a trial or some kind of exploratory engagement with an employer, if offered, to prove your value and also to get a sense from your point of view whether you're a good fit or they're a good fit for you?
I think of the movie with Robert De Niro, the
Sure.
intern, I think, for the most part. But there was an interaction that was there. That was more about the relationship and building a relationship than it was in trying to just prove something to someone. And I think that's where people get off the track, is that it's important, yes, to show what you know, what you can do, but can you build a relationship in such a way that makes them really see through to your value and maybe some shared core values that you can work from? And if that position could work out for you in that kind of way, by all means, please do so. Now, I don't think you should do it for free necessarily, although I am totally not against voluntary work and trying to make a move in that kind of sense, because that gives you a little bit more freedom. And that's a welcomed transaction where, hey, we could use this, and it would be great if you could do this for this amount of time with these parameters. And you set up these standards in such a way that I'm only going to do this for this, and this volunteer matter, you got to make it count. So I think internships, yeah, I think there's a great opportunity. It may not be right for everyone, but if there's the right kind of formula that seems to work, by all means, I think that's an opportunity to get the foot in the door.
What about you? I know you're in favor too of if you're kind of stuck in the job search process to get out and volunteer and do something. How does that fit in with this whole getting your mojo back?
I think a job seeker needs to understand, especially older job seeker, you volunteer because you want to, that you really have something, you see a need, and that you really don't mind doing it for whatever boundaries, whether it's free or for a monetary amount, by all means, but to understand that you set that standard and that you can set it up in such a way where there's an agreement as far as time and space and what that will really mean, it becomes a great asset, especially if you can agree that maybe that person can vouch for you in other situations or maybe further down the line with the same company. But understand what you're going to want back from that situation and what that's going to really mean, because you get to dictate that. You get to dictate many times even what hours you would work and what project you will work on. But you want to do it in such a way that's either you're going to learn something new or you're going to use something new to learn and to hone your craft and become better at, or something you could just go ahead and solve because what makes it better because you share those core values with that particular opportunity or employer.
Oh, I love that because it just keeps your resume alive as well. And the piece you just said that hopefully you're learning something new or you're making new networking connections. It's like it can be a very powerful tool in the job hunt. But again, like you said, it has to be something that you care about, not just something you're just doing.
Yeah, because people can snuff that out. They can see that you're just calling it in instead of being intentional and deliberate, but also being connecting while you're doing those tasks.